Welcome into the Fan Addict Sports Channel for sports fans by sports fans. I'm your man, Coach I. Where are my dogs at? As y'all seen recently, I'm doing college football week 1 previews. Today's preview, as you can see from the banner below, we're doing Notre Dame and Florida State. And to help me out, I brought one of my good buddies in. He's a Florida State fan. He's going to try to give us his feelings and whatever else he might know about this upcoming game. What's going on, Stacey?
What's happening, my brother?
Hey,
Good to join you on the
man.
Fan Addict.
On the Fan Addict, we got you up in here. You know, this is the man with the plan. This is where I watch all my big time Georgia games because Georgia his second team.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You know, some people be like, you can't have two teams, but it's a crazy story with that.
Well, that's all I was gonna ask you to start out. How you become a Florida State fan?
So I'm from Cairo, Georgia. So that's in South Georgia. So that's like 30 minutes, not even 30 minutes, it's like 30 miles from Cairo. So that's like across, that's like on the Florida line. So when the TV, they only play on the local TV station, Florida State. So that's how I became a Florida State fan, even though I'm in Georgia. So that's why I always going to support the home team. So Georgia is my other team. So I can do that.
Hey, all right, man. We're gonna break down this Notre Dame Florida State game the best we can, man. We're gonna start out first. What we're gonna do is we'll talk about the 2020 offensive and defensive stats. I'll give you those, and I'm pretty sure most of them numbers won't shock you. We'll talk about some transfer portal players because, hey, Mike Norvell, I actually think it was smart that he went and got a lot of players out of the transfer portal because obviously, you know, it's been a little empty down there in Tallahassee. And then some key players, and then you'll tell me, hey, man, I'm pretty sure you're a part of some FSU groups or something on social media. Maybe you got a feeling of what the fans talk about. And then at the end, just talk about how important the game is and like a prediction of how you might think it may go. All right, man. Let's see here.
Definitely going to keep it 100 with you on that.
Hey, that's what we do, man. We fans, you know what I'm saying? No experts and no analysts, man. We just tell what we derive from what we see. All right, so offensively, Florida State wasn't as bad as I thought. Period. They rush offense was 31st in the nation. The pass offense was a little worse, 98 in the nation, and then overall though they was 62, so they still was almost like basically in the top half.
Right.
Whereas you'll see on TV people act like Florida State ain't did nothing good ever since the last championship.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, but I was surprised that they scored almost 26 points a game though last year.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I watched some games last year, and then I went back and watched some highlights. Man, Jordan Travis, the quarterback, he wasn't half bad, man. I mean, according to what I've been reading and looking at, it ain't Mackenzie Milton job altogether. It's still a battle, So
that is true.
Yeah, Notre Dame offense was a little better. They rush offense was 24th, which is kind of surprising considering they got Kyron Williams back there. We do pretty good, and then the pass offense was 58th, and the total offense was 26th. So it ain't like they was world beaters. I mean, a little bit better than Florida State, but it wasn't like they was world beaters. So, then you got the defense. Defense is a different story. The rush defense from Florida State was 97th. The pass was 90. Pass defense was 98. Total defense was 107. Now, the rush defense for Notre Dame was 16th. The pass defense wasn't too good. It was at 61, and then the overall defense was 25th. But watching them last year, how did you feel like the defense was?
I mean, this has been like an issue that I know I've seen since probably like the glory days of Velvet Bound. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Even when Fisher was there, we just couldn't get those dominant rush ins like we've been accustomed to, and them D tackles, and of course the linebackers. I mean, we've been okay at safety and at corner, but that front four, that front eight, that's where we've been struggling, and I still see that as going to be a problem unless somebody can come in and just grab that mantle and be that dude. hopefully that transfer that we'll get into will be that guy. You should know him.
Yeah, yeah. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get it moving on into the transfer portal because, like you talked about, that dude Jermaine Johnson y'all got from the transfer portal from Georgia, and the dude was a baller. He just, wanted more playing time. At Georgia, Kirby Smart rotate like it's a hockey team, so
Right, right.
he said he wanted to basically be the feature dude. You know what I'm saying? And he got what he wanted. So, according to all sources, the coaches love him. So, Mike Norvell and Dan Lanning, the defense coordinator from Georgia, they pretty good friends. So, Dan Lanning signed off on him. They say as soon as he stepped on campus, he was the best dude on the defense. So, maybe even the team, depend.
Hey, that's what I'm hoping he does. Like I said, become that guy because it's been a minute since we had that defensive end that can get to the passer and knock them down.
I was about to say, because when y'all was winning the championship and always, competing in the ACC and winning the ACC, y'all always had them rushers come off there and always, and D tackles too.
Yes, I mean it was a given. I mean that's what solidified our defense. I mean when we were giving up, less than 15 points a game during them times.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute, but I mean I got faith. And Norvell, a lot of people don't know this, but I was actually saying that he was going to be the guy that they was going to get.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at the Memphis squad. I was like, you better go get him.
His first year at Memphis, he did 8-5. The second year, he did 10-3. So, that's why, we'll, like I say, talking about this Notre Dame Florida State game. I mean, I hear a lot of people like, oh, Notre Dame, this is a dub for Notre Dame. I'm like, I ain't saying I don't know who got I'll give my prediction at the end of the video, but I'm just saying teams normally do better the second year in somebody's system. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got all the terminology, plus you got a whole off season, COVID and all that was last year. So
exactly.
And they playing in Tallahassee and not for nothing, rest in peace, but they might have a little bit more to play for now. Play for old ball coach.
it'll be the first game that they celebrate. Bound, so we'll see.
Yep, and to help out their defense, they brought in Jamie Robinson. He started all 10 games for South Carolina. To play defense. He defense back. He out of Lee County, Georgia. That's 6A ball, so he got to have a little bit of talent. You know what I'm
saying? Right.
And they got who else? They got Kier Thomas. He was a defensive end that started at South Carolina. God, y'all rabid South Carolina, didn't y'all?
Yeah, they got a couple of people from the SEC now. I saw them. A couple of people from South Carolina. They even went to Texas A&M and got a guy. I think that was the last person that they got from the portal is Marcus Kashan.
Yep.
So they went and got him another edge rusher. So those are things like I'm saying. If you pair him up with old boy from Georgia over there on that side. Hopefully that's going to be that tandem that we need.
Because if you can get a good pass rush, that'll always help out them DBs back there. You know what I'm saying?
DBs are going to be green because, we lost our main guy from last
year.
Samuel Jr.
Yep.
And I saw him playing against the Chargers the other day, and he was straight balling.
Hey, they like I said, they brought in that dude, Jamie Robinson. I think they brought in a dude named Jaquez McClellan. He played at Ark. Hopefully, Jaquez, if you're watching this, dog, I murdered your last name. Hopefully, you forgive me. He played at Arkansas, but he's moving over to safety. And for all accounts, they say in practice, fall camp, he's been doing that thing at safety. So I'm just saying, man, I mean, like I say, you don't know what to expect because this is like a hodgepodge of players you're putting together, but you're putting together a lot of talent, though. So
I was just about to say, yeah.
And if Mike Norvell can do what he do, you know what I'm saying, then he come out that first game. Especially, it's the first game, too. Like,
that's when you better strike.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
It's not like you have a lot of film, a good film, I just say that. You don't have a lot of good film of what you can do. So hopefully, like you said, after COVID, they had a good off season, a regular off season, and hope that'll help us out.
Yep. And then they got film. They Notre Dame might can watch film on the other side of the ball for Jordan Travis. But if Mackenzie Milton, wins the job, they got UCF film on him, but they don't have Florida State film on him. So, and I don't know if it's entirely the same offense. I think it's a little bit, difference. So.
Right. The crazy thing about that, you just mentioned on Mackenzie Milton is they have to go back to, I think, 2018 to get some film on him. So hey, I mean, he's a different player after that significant injury he had. So we'll see.
And not to mention Notre Dame replacing Ian Book. Ian Book was the winningest
Right.
quarterback in Notre Dame history. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And they got the guy from Wisconsin. What's that kid name? I think I wrote him down. Jack Cohen. He was like the starter for. I think he played a little bit for Wisconsin his sophomore year, and then like in his junior year or something like. They went with he got hurt, and then they went with like a younger dude or something like that. And
Right. Right.
now he at Notre Dame, and then but they got a good running back, but they replacing. I think they had 4 offensive linemen drafted or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you got Jermaine Johnson, you got the other kid from A&M that you was talking about on the D line, and they replacing the offensive line. Now, I mean, Brian Kelly a good coach, but again, first game,
First game.
you get penalties and everything else. You know what I'm saying?
I actually hope they come out there overconfident.
Hey, it could, and then they last year with the COVID, they like if like with y'all had too many players that had COVID against Clemson, so y'all couldn't play, and they just it's just canceled the game. This year,
Exactly.
they saying that if you it's a loss, and Mike
Damn.
Mike Norvell said y'all should be 85% vaccinated by the season. So he said he ain't trying to take no L because of that.
Hey, that's probably low key a FSU Clemson rule.
Probably so. I'm pretty sure some people on the Clemson in the Clemson program that's still looking forward to that game.
Exactly.
Well, hey man, y'all got other players to talk about, man. Y'all got a wide receiver from Kansas in the transfer portal named Andrew Parchment, and in 2019, dude was like all Big 12 or something like that. I think second team. He had like over 800 yards receiving. I don't know what went on in 2020. I don't know if it was the COVID or whatever went on, but he only played like 7 games and he ain't do too hot then. But if he can return to 2019 form,
That's probably like one of the biggest question marks on this team is going to be the receiving core offense.
yeah.
You got you. There's like nobody really coming back from that squad, and I'm looking at you even got a freshman that they're looking at this year that is putting up, some quality time on during the scrimmages. Uh, what's his name? Hilton.
Okay.
The freshman name is McLean. So he's probably the sleeper to watch. He's a freshman, true freshman, I believe.
I read a little bit about him. They said he was actually
Yeah,
turning heads in camp. What I
yeah,
think what it
yeah.
said.
So for someone like that to come in as a freshman and you turning heads, I mean that's something that hey I'm excited to see. So I hope we can get somebody that can get him down, get him the ball, so consistently, so he can show up on film and be that dude.
To help in the passing game, though, y'all get Jordan Wilson back. Jordan Wilson was y'all tight end in 2019. He missed all or either missed or he sat out or opted out or whatever. But he back, so that may help out a little bit. And with like I say, Notre Dame, man, Notre Dame lost like they top 2 wide receivers to the NFL. Like I said, 4 all ACC linemen from last year, 2 defensive backs. So it ain't like they ain't replacing nothing. You know what I'm saying? That All American linebacker, that dude, Jeremiah. I'm not even gonna attempt his last name because I might butcher it. But so, and they lost their defensive coordinator to Vandy. I just forgot about that. The dude that's the head coach at Vandy now. So they're replacing the defensive coordinator and a lot of key pieces. I mean, they still got talent. They still got that dude Kyle Hamilton back there at safety.
Yeah. So you say they lost him to Vandy, huh?
Yeah, the defensive coordinator Clark Lee. He actually played at Vandy. He got the yep, and he got the job. He got the job, and he the head coach there now. So they breaking. I don't know who the defense coordinator is, but they breaking in a new one. That's all I know.
Right.
So I mean, there's opportunities there, man. You got special teams where, like on y'all special teams, man, y'all punter was consistent. Y'all punter was definitely consistent. Now the kicking game, I don't know what it is about the Seminoles and the history of kicking field goals. Y'all either have a world beater, like the best, or y'all don't have nothing at all.
I mean, it's been like a crapshoot.
I mean, y'all have like people like Janikowski, the kick.
Janikowski, of course, is like the longest longevity kicker in the NFL. So I mean, that was like the best kicker that came out of Florida State.
But then y'all, a
Besides
couple of years ago, the year y'all had the year y'all won the championship, y'all had a good Aguayo, and with the,
Aguayo, yeah. And then we went and got his brother.
that's what I'm
And his
saying.
brother,
Will y'all have a good kicker? He All
yeah.
American, but after that,
So I guess they thought the lineage was gonna carry on with Aguayo, and it just didn't pan out. So it's like, dang if you do, dang if you don't. Like it's almost like it skips a generation or something.
well, I just
I'm not
say,
even
man.
talking about wide rights.
Hopefully, it won't come down to no field goal. I hate for y'all to lose opening day on a wide right.
Hey, you know what? If it came that close, I'll say good. You know what I'm saying? Because that shows some vast improvement. Because you're going up against,
Yeah,
you know,
playoff
uh,
team, playoff team.
playoff team that, you know what I'm saying, like everybody hate Notre Dame except Notre Dame fans. But if you play them down to a field goal, I mean, I don't think they'll say it publicly, but they'll take that as a moral victory.
Hey, sometimes when you building a new coach and new staff, when you building a program, sometimes you got to take some more victories against a quality opponent so you can get, because it's a mental. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is mental. Like, you know, you got to basically get used to not losing anymore, or get used to not getting blown out, and start playing good. Then you'll start getting them wins here and there. Then the kids like, you know what? We just play hard all the time. We can win. It's just like,
And that's been the thing, you know. I was looking at the records the last like 5 or 6 years. I'm just like, wow, like yeah,
dog, y'all went from top of the mountain literally all the way down to the valley like a roller coaster.
like quickly.
Just like straight down. And y'all still on the little, you know how the roller coaster go all slow on the way up. Y'all still trying to get all the way up, man.
And you know, I'm salty, so I blame it. I'm blaming it on Jimbo. You know, he left the cupboard
Thank
bare.
you. Thank you. I heard somebody today say that when Willie Taggart left, he left. I'm like,
Uh,
that did Willie Taggart didn't help the situation. Let's
no,
get there.
no. I
But
mean,
Jimbo got that thing started.
seriously, I'm like, I don't understand why this dude never could recruit offensive linemen.
Bro, I think it was like they didn't know how to judge talent, because he had a couple of high 4-star, low, and then 5 stars, but they was like, sorry.
Soft.
It's like almost like he just went down a recruit list like 5-star. Yeah, let's get him.
Yeah,
Like dog, you still got to watch the film, dog. Just because,
right.
I mean, because
You know,
as we see in the offseason, man, these dudes be earning star. I think the star rating system is so stupid. I mean, like for example, there's a kid that's committed to Georgia, Malachi Starks. Dude is all world athlete. I mean, he's played running back, wide receiver, he lined up in the shotgun, he done played safety, he done played corner, he done played everything but linebacker. But right now, I think as of like last month, sometime they got him listed as like a 5-star linebacker. I'm like, he didn't even play linebacker in high school. That's what I'm saying,
uh,
man. Like but that's why these staffs got to get out there and do their own research, man. Like, you can't
exactly,
just be
exactly.
5-starring it up and then say, well, why y'all ain't paying it out? Then Jimbo just say, you know what, Texas A&M paying a lot of money.
A lot, a lot. And I mean, I think the other problem was he couldn't get the facilities that he wanted at the time, and I think there was a lot of, you know, personal stuff going on that, you know, like that I keep hearing about, and was also part of the reason why he had to get up out of there.
And what I've been thinking is, Florida State, what's going on with the revenue down in Florida State?
I mean, there shouldn't be well,
I
if you
didn't
got
think
a
I didn't think it was a problem, but apparently Jimbo said maybe they just wasn't willing to give Jimbo the money.
right, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you trying to get a blank check, you know what I'm saying? I know this is Florida State, but at the same time, we still trying to make sure that we taking care of these other
Yeah,
programs on the yard too. So you just can't take the whole pie.
Texas A&M say, man, hey, he go and check. We signed it already. Do what you want to with it.
They gave him a blank check. He cashed them, but I don't know. I think he's about to run his welcome out down there too.
Well, I know that for all that money, this year some people picking him to win the West since Alabama down or whatever. And if he don't this year, next year, I ain't gonna say he'll be on the hot seat, but there'll definitely be some uncomfortable conversations. Let's just say that. So
Yeah, Yes, sir.
All right. So what you been hearing from other FSU fans? How they feeling about this year coming up?
I mean, it's like it's always going to be cautiously optimistic
Okay.
because, like I said, you don't know what we have. I mean, it's not like you can go to training camp like you do for NFL teams and go and actually watch. You get little snippets of tape from practices, scrimmages. I mean, I don't even know how much the Garnet and Gold game got attended because it was like, bam, there it is. Here's the
Yeah.
game. So it's like hard to gauge what the fans think. But I think one thing I do know differently, there's more support for Norval than there was for Willie Taggart.
I was just about to ask you how you felt about Nova. I know you said you had a feeling they was going to get him, and I
Yeah,
know first season COVID, that's a hard first season for a
yeah.
first coach at another school. So how you feel about Norvell's future? You think he can take you out there?
I believe that he can be the guy if he's not going to be the guy to get us over the hump. There's always somebody that you need to get you back to where you need to be, and then maybe another person can come in and
In
take you over.
in levels. That's the same thing I
The
said about my dogs. Like people used to be mad at Mark Rick. I'm like, Mark Rick was the guy to take us. Like Donnie was 8-5 consistently and a
right.
bowl game for 5 years, and then Mark Rick came up there and gave us hope that we could win. You know what I'm saying? An SEC championship. That's why it's a lot of people expect a lot out of Kirby because he's supposed to be able to take us to that next level. And I mean, yet to be written. Yet to be written. We'll see.
And since you brought up Mark Rick, I mean, when y'all took Mark Rick, that actually started our downfall too. I'm just gonna be honest. So that's when Bobby had the genius idea that he was gonna put his son to replace Mark Rick, and it was just awful. It's awful.
Oh man, well hey, some things work out like that. Like I say, man, Mark Richt helped us. I think he like changed the direction of our program to go up, start going up, and not be just like I said, a perennial bowl team. Even though, like I say, he didn't win no natty, he did win the SEC twice. So, but hey, well, with the rest of the FSU fans, y'all ain't got no Kool-Aid fans down there you done talk to say y'all gonna take the ACC.
No, I mean, come on. Like I said, we cautiously optimistic. I don't think there's nobody that's gonna just jump out there and put themselves out there and say, "Oh, we're back." You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? You know how Florida and Miami did about 4 or 5 years ago when they just view us back.
Oh.
Oh, the Gators are back. No, not yet, not yet.
Shots fired at the other
That-
Florida schools.
That's right. I
You
put that.
you already know they gonna get in the comments after you.
Hey, it's all good. It's all love. Hey, well, I know one team that can't say nothing, and that's for sure because I don't, they understand how many times we ripped them off in a row. So we're not gonna talk about that team down there in South Florida.
All right. So what you think this game like? What's the importance of this game? Like earlier, you said if y'all lose by like a field goal at the last minute, like what you think this game mean to the fans? Like it just show y'all making progress.
I mean, it has to. I mean, it's Notre Dame. You're at home. I mean, of course, it's gonna probably be on prime time. So
Oh yeah.
you got to go out there and compete. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's one of the Labor Day games, so it's part of that weekend of good football.
Mm.
So you got to go out there and lay it on the line. You can't go out there and be timid, be scared, play scared. And I don't care if they use both quarterbacks. I mean, do what you got to do.
Just stay
You know
competitive.
what I'm saying? Exactly. That's the whole point of this game is stay competitive, and if you can win it, good, great, awesome. But just don't go up there and stink it up on national TV.
That's right. That's right. All right. So what's your prediction? Let me get my prediction since you're the Florida State fan. I predict that unlike a lot of other people, they think it's gonna be a Notre Dame blowout. I think it's gonna be a close game, and I actually think it's gonna be it's gonna be in the single digits. I do think Notre Dame gonna win only because of Brian Kelly, not because I feel like they so much vastly more talented than y'all. But Brian Kelly has played. I mean, they go. Notre Dame travel go anywhere. So, I think it's gonna be closer than people expect because it's in Tallahassee. Like I say, they might have a little bit extra, playing first game in who knows how long without Bobby Bowden somewhere rooting for him. And but I think Notre Dame will end up pulling it out towards the end. Like I say, somewhere between 3 and 6. Something like a I don't know, like a 31-25, something like that.
Okay, you're a little more generous with the points than me. I was thinking more like, you know what I'm saying, more like 27-17.
Okay, 27-17. That ain't too bad.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. All right. Well,
And I'm being honest about that.
hey, that's good, man. We bring fans in, you know what I'm saying? We got your Kool-Aid fans and you got your realistic fans, man. Like,
Right.
but hey, the world need both of them. Like, it's somewhere right now. Somebody gonna be watching this video like, man, that dude crazy. He ain't no Florida State fan. We about to kill Notre Dame.
That's what they say. But like I said, you have to be honest with yourself. And it also helps the heart condition too. You know what I'm saying? When you lower those expectations, you don't sit there and say, oh, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
I know it's a process. I mean, we just got to know that it's a process.
Man, being
Like,
a fan, you right. Being a fan is an emotional roller coaster, dog.
right.
And
Exactly.
if you don't watch it, you fool around, end up like that dude. That was the Auburn. I mean, the Alabama fan go poison the trees down at Toomer's Corner. Like dog, it is literally not that
Not.
serious.
But I tell you what, if we had a All-American quarterback, I would feel better about beating Notre Dame.
Okay.
If we had a stud at quarterback, I would say we can take Notre Dame without a doubt.
Well, you know, quarterback most important position, whether people want to realize it or not. If you ain't got a, like you say, an all conference type level or better quarterback, when it comes to them top games, I mean, come on, man. We had Stetson Bennett last year. You know, I know. Hey, he did his best, but when it comes to them elite games, though, they're just not gonna be good enough. So,
Exactly.
so hey, man, we appreciate you getting in the fan addict, coming in here talking some Seminole football, man, and we're gonna have you back on during the season, so we get an update on how it's going with the Norvell train down there in Tallahassee.
Hey, I appreciate you having me, my brother, and I'll see you Labor Day weekend.
You know it. And for Stacey, the FSU fan and Georgia fan, by the way, and all around Atlanta sports fan,
Yes.
This is Coach I, and we are out.